Talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to that person that doesn't have a problem laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes on you. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you gotta delete the app. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you. Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on you? Focus on what matters. Why are you here? What is your destiny? The reason why you don't see it, the reason why it has not manifested, the reason why you are so frustrated is because you have not been willing to forsake all that you've been called to forsake and to follow through behind closed doors. Sure, you can talk about it. Sure, you can plan it. Sure, you can write it down. Sure, you can go to the conference and hear about it. You can read about it. But at some juncture, you have to disappear and put the work in and come back and shock everybody that doubted you. I'm talking to that man, that woman, that boy, that girl who feels the fire in their belly. It's time for you to shock the world. You may have to sleep in your car. You may have to go without food. You may have to bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop. You're right there. You don't have time to waste. So I need you to put in 1,000% every single day.
I was the baddest person to ever live. Doesn't go away, man. You gotta wake up. Even though you retired, you never retired. You're setting the example every single day of your life about having a savage mentality.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody gets excited. E.T., the guru story, but nobody wants to get up at 3 o'clock.
Things in life are going to get really fucking hard, and you're going to want to quit. Win, lose, or draw. Still got to wake up tomorrow and go to fucking work.
If you truly want that greatness, you got to work hard. You got to dig a little bit deeper. You got to find it. You got to go after it, because it's not looking for you. Success is not looking for you. You got to go get it.
Not always going to feel like doing what you're supposed to do. That's when you got to do it anyways.
Success is not going to be handed to you. Nobody owes you anything.
When you are hungry, when you are no longer full, when you are no longer satisfied with where you are and you raise your standards, it is only then that you can have your future.
What's going to separate you is when it's beast time, when it's war time, you got to get up and make it happen. Push with everything you got. Tell excuses to step aside. Let weakness know that it is not welcome in your house, because the opportunities are yours. Go get it. Go get it now. Like for real, you walk out of here pumped up, fired up. You get some new information. You're ready. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Because not only do I want to be a beast, if you follow my 24 hours, I do what beasts do.
The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I feel that most things I do, but still I grind.
I have too much to accomplish to be satisfied with where I am right now. I have too much on the line. I have too many people depending on me to win. I must stay hungry.
Be a hard-working motherfucker. You can't go wrong with that mentality.
The truth of the matter is, how are you so emotionally injured, so mentally drained, so physically fatigued that you have allowed your dream, your destiny to take a back seat to this excuse that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, that you're not tall enough, that you're not wide enough, that you're not deep enough, that you're not connected enough, that you don't know enough people. You keep comparing yourself to that person and this person. When will the excuses stop?
When will the excuses stop?
When will you see your purpose bigger than your excuse?
When will you see your purpose bigger than your excuse? Oh, brother, when will the excuses stop? When will you see your purpose bigger than your excuses? That is powerful, and that is great. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, beautiful morning. It's a good day today, just because we're halfway through the week. We are halfway through the week. I got some new things. I got some new toys. I got a new camera. Hopefully you guys like the camera. I'm still kind of struggling with it a little bit, just because I don't know if I like the quality and then things like that. But we'll see. Maybe it takes a couple of days for it to clear up and feel a little bit better. I've also got a brand new microphone. So for my Spotify listeners out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You're so very kind for being here. And I hope that you're doing amazing. I hope that you're feeling amazing and having a beautiful day. And if you are having a beautiful day, whether you're on Spotify or you're here being encouraged through the channels of visual communication over on YouTube, give this Spotify a like and a rating. Favorite it. Give the Spotify this podcast favorite, rate it, give it whatever you got. I appreciate you. One, and also two, you should appreciate yourself for being here and watching this video, watching this podcast live as we do every day, every morning. Right? Appreciate it. But why are you here? And that's what we really need to know. Why are you here? What is that purpose? What is that cause that you're here for to enhance and improve on your life, your family's lives, and some have some sort of impact in the world? Why are you here? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with today's information that you're going to learn? Oh, I hope the answer to that is take it, develop yourself, go and change the world. I'm not saying that I've got all the answers, but at least I know that I've got the blueprint. And if I don't have the blueprint myself, I'll call in someone else who does. Because I've got the blueprint to your success. And whatever that is. But it all starts off with you developing yourself. And that's why you're here. To get the blueprint and develop yourself so that way you can impact the world. I love it. So today, I liked it. Should I keep this in the camera frame? Should I keep this in the camera? Just like right here. All right. So hopefully the audio quality on that is decent. But no, I do honestly feel excited every time I get the chance to turn the camera on and chat with you guys and teach you guys and encourage you guys to feel better. I know there's a lot of business owners out there who I work with and work around, brand new to the industry, and it's tough for them, right? It's very tough for them because they don't know where to go to get all the information about mindset and growing and building into themselves, and have somebody tell them that they can do it. You can do it. You just need to put in a whole lot of work to do it. Nothing's ever going to be easy. Nothing's ever going to be given to you. You need to go out there and grab and find and fight for the people that are going to push and motivate and lead you. You got to do that. It's not an option. And so today I'm excited because what we do on Wednesdays is ultimately just we get the chance to talk about some different little strategies to like add to your toolbox if you are a business owner or if you are looking to enhance yourself. You know, the last time that we had a Wednesday session, we spoke about doubling your income. And that was really good. It was a very good one. Make sure you go back and watch that. It's called You Must Commit to Financial Independence. You must commit to financial independence. So what are we going to do today? We're going to talk about prospecting. And I definitely want to speak about prospecting because first off, prospecting has a bad rep, a bad name in what it is, right? And I wanted to be able to kind of at least dispel a little bit of it and then also get into what prospecting is. All right. So we're just getting right into it. One momento. There we go. No, I legitimately just forgot that I forgot my coffee. I'm going to go get my coffee. That's going to happen. That is going to happen. But with that, I will leave you with some motivation and some encouragement. How about that? I hope that sounds fair enough.
When you're listening to me, you may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. People that make excuses are not connected to their destination. They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. And if you've made your excuses bigger than your dream, the time is now to apply pressure. It may not be easy, but it's not impossible. This is not a I feel like it today. This is not a I'm motivated for a week. This is an every single day mentality. You may have to work 3 times. You may have to lose sleep. You may have to go to college and raise 5 children and still maintain your marriage and work your side hustle. I don't know what your story is, but if you will keep a no excuse mentality, then the sky is not your limit. The sky is your starting point. This is an every single day mentality. I never get turned off. Every single day. I want my destiny. I want my dream. When somebody is in love with who they've been called to become, what they've been called to fulfill.
That's still so good. That's still so good. I love Motive University. Motiversity. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I do love listening to them. But what is prospecting? What is prospecting? I like this because it's a very different term. All right. So prospect. Search for mineral deposits in a place, especially by means of experimental drilling and excavation. Oh man, I love that. The company is also prospecting for gold. Oh man, and that just makes me feel great about myself because I was prospected into the business industry. Search for mineral deposits in a place, especially by means. Here, I'll share this with you guys. So that way you can see. I think this is important. All right. Search for mineral deposits in a place, especially by means of drilling and excavation. All right. Mineral deposits. Deposits of minerals form when a medium that contains and transports mineral making ore releases and deposits the ore. Mineral deposits to diamonds. Second geological source for diamonds is placer deposits. Mineral deposits, placer deposits. I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying, right? I'm sure that you can get. Oh wait, when magma or lava cools, the magma or an ore carried within it crystallizes to tiny minerals in a newly created in something rock. But by drilling or excavation, and so I love this. Look out for, search for. The responsibility to sell people to prospect for customers. All right. Search for mineral deposits in a place. So the big thing about that I like that makes me feel good is that when you're going to prospect someone, you're searching for maybe something that is not necessarily fully formed just yet, right? It hasn't been fully crystallized and shined down to a diamond potentially, especially by means of then going experimental drilling. So drilling, asking, trying to communicate, trying to connect to figure out if this rock is going to be a worthy rock, a worthy diamond. And I love that. I love that. Let's talk about excavation. The action of excavating something, especially an archaeological site, a site that has been, you can't use the definition in the word. But I do love that. I do love that. So prospecting, a manner of which you ultimately search for rocks and diamonds, rocks or diamonds in rocks, diamonds in minerals. I love that. But unfortunately, prospecting gets a huge bad name or a really bad stigma, really. Got my coffee. And why is that? Well, our good friend Joseph Rogan over on LinkedIn, he has a nice little article about it. He says, mention the word prospect to anyone in an organization, and they cringe with angst, excuses, and more excuses to find out why they are too busy to do this one activity. But it's essential in business, especially today. It has a bad rap. And for the most part, I think you know why. It's like running a marathon and that you have to put in the miles or you'll never finish the race. And most people don't want to have to put in the miles, right? Nobody wants to make these kind of calls, and heaven forbid they have to do it every day, sitting at a desk making 10, 30, 50, or 150. Granted, I don't want to make that many calls. I don't make that many calls. A day is like getting up in the morning and running your 7 miles in the rain, snow, or cold, right? I have had the opportunity to run both the marathons and grind out prospecting. You start off by getting an organized list of names and numbers, which you had to sort, research, get yourself settled, and then start dialing. And it's not fun. It's not fun. To be honest, prospecting isn't. It's not fun, but it is tried and true method to get people to engage and at least start whatever process. Remember, you never start the race if you never get to the finish line. There are some well-disguised tricks of the trade to make it look easy. Or to make it look like someone is prospecting, but it's just a smokescreen. They get lost in fancy email campaigns, purchase mailing lists, and all the rest of that kind of stuff. And bottom line is just that it's uncomfortable. It is basic human nature. People don't like to be subjected or stigmatized, used as a used car or insurance salesman, right? It's hugely stigmatized. Now, we are far too important or above such a mindless activity when my skills can be used elsewhere for more important things. To be treated in such a dismissive way or minimized by a receptionist is intolerable and things like that. So With that, prospecting itself has a huge bad name within the business industry. And it's because most people don't want to do it or it's uncomfortable. And that's fine. I think that there are so many different ways now, especially in 2024, to be able to actually effectively look for those diamonds. To look for those diamonds. And I think that is very important in your business growth. I think that is extremely important. If you're wanting to expand your business, you can prospect in multiple ways. You can prospect in order to recruit top talent, top individuals into your business, into your industry, provide them business opportunities, career opportunities, job opportunities, high level leadership opportunities. You have that, but then you also have prospecting for clients. Obviously, clients is what builds and grows and expands on your business, because if you can prospect and find those clients who you can help or who you can provide value to, they're going to go much further with you. They just are. They're going to go much further. They're going to give you referrals and things like that. And going to actually make your prospecting section much easier, because they're ultimately going to give you those referrals. And so first, I want to talk about the purpose of prospecting. First, the purpose of prospecting is just to be able to build great sales pipelines, right? Especially if you're in that industry of sales in any way, shape, or form. There's so many different sales industries. Expand your reach too, like your market, and then also 3 is to drive great revenue growth. All right. So as far as building a really good, robust sales pipeline, when you're able to prospect and look for those people that you can assist and help and grow, right? And doing that, you're talking to people, you're learning, you're building great connections with people as well, for who might be potential customers, who might be potential highly qualified customers. It is also necessary, because if you prospect in a way of asking questions and learning about the other person instead of trying to shove something down their throat, you start to ask qualifying questions, diagnostic questions, or status questions. And that's from a book called Secrets of Question-Based Selling. Do I have it down here? I think I have it by PDF. Secrets of Question-Based Selling teaches you how to qualify your prospects, how to qualify your prospective leads based on needs, their budgets, the market that they're in, the people that they know, the abilities that you have in order to be able to help them out, things like that. Right. So it's very important to be able to learn how to qualify those leads, so that way you have a better sales pipeline. Right. It's not enough you don't want to just have a bunch of names of people that you've talked to and that you started working on, insisting that you can't necessarily help, that you cannot help them out. Otherwise, you're just a salesman, because you're trying to push something down their face that they don't really want. Be a businessman, provide value. That's the difference. All right. Salespeople, they want to sell you something. Business people, they have value that they want to provide to you. Be a business person. All right. And then 3rd, nurture those relationships of those current prospective clients that you have, and even your current clients. So that way you can have future sales opportunities either with them when you expand your offerings, or whenever they need more services or value, whatever the case is, they'll come back to you consistently. We need to nurture those relationships. 2, expanding your reach. Why is it important to expand your reach? Because not only is it, if you've got, here we go. I love you guys, and I love to draw. I love to draw. If you've got your current prospects, let me do this. Why is this? it says connected. Well, it says connected. I might not be able. The snap that smiles back. Okay, so you're not going to connect. It's not going to connect, guys. You guys know I was going to draw for you, but it doesn't want to connect. All right, no worries. We'll keep it going. We shall keep it going. So let's say that you've got your current market, and your current market, they're 25 to 30 years old. You know, they're in their first career. They're early in their first career. They don't have much knowledge about whatever the case is, right? That's your current market. Obviously, you want to expand your reach and be able to appeal to more customers in that market right there. But expanding your market reach is even better. And that's where prospecting comes into play at, because if you're prospecting, you also consistently prospect outside of that market that you're currently working with. So if you got this market right here, these types of people, if you're consistently prospecting and looking for those diamonds, looking for those other people who you can help, you're prospecting outside of this 25 to 30-year-old market, and you can start to have much better reach, much better different customer segments as well. And then also it's cool. Now, granted, if you're in a service or company or an organization that has a very specific market, then that makes sense. But see, if there's other adjacent markets right next to it that you can also ultimately serve. All right. Next, with expanding your market reach, you also diversify your offerings, your service offerings, your product offerings, your value offerings. You have so many different value propositions, what sets you apart, that you can utilize and offer much more value. And that's because as your clientele base expands, what you need to learn and do and offer needs to expand as well, if you want to be able to maximize ways to help them out in whatever way that is. And then also the third part of expanding your market reach is just that you get ahead of other competitors. I'm going to tell you right now, the only way to get somebody to go from whom they're already working with to you is you got to make them ultimately fire that other person. You have to make that other person's products, services, value, relationship with them look worse. It sucks. Not saying you got to badmouth them. What I am saying is that it's cutthroat. And so in order for you to get hired, they have to get fired. And that means that prospecting, you need to build great relationships with people, right? Provide things that others don't have. Next, the last purpose of prospecting is to drive great revenue growth. So because you prospect, you're consistently doing it, you're consistently generating new business opportunities for yourself, new clientele bases, things like that. You're also increasing your sales and profitability. Yes, because you're consistently out there talking to people. Not saying that you should be in the mall, walking around, asking somebody this and this and this every day. There is a place for that in prospecting with some businesses. And in other businesses, you need to make phone calls. In other businesses, it's hey, current client who loves what I do. Thank you for your time here. If you loved what it is that I helped you out with, who else can you connect me to help out and save their lives, or whatever the case it is. Right? There's so many different ways of prospecting, but doing it consistently brings much more sales and business opportunity and profitability to you as well. And then also prospecting can allow you to have much longer sustainability. There's a lot of ways that people just, instead of going and prospecting, look for quality relationships with people. They kind of just buy the leads, or they do these random little things that are not necessarily sustainable. but prospecting is all about you. The better you get at prospecting, the more you prospect, the better you get at it, which then means that you're much more able to build more relationships with people out there, which is great. That's a skill that is great to have. So I want to talk about effective prospecting strategies and things you can do. And I've actually got a little visual here for you. Types of prospecting. So you've got pretty much three ultimate categories. You've got your networking and referrals. You've got your online prospecting and your cold outreach. All right. So your networking and referrals, these are going to be where you're trying to leverage your current existing connections with some of your clients already, or some of your other business partners, or some of your mentors or leaders, or some of the people that you know. Right. A lot of this comes with referrals in person, where you're getting a chance to meet other people as well. You're literally just out there chatting and talking with people. I'm not saying that that only way to do that is by, hey, are you interested in healthcare? Hey, I can sell you this makeup product. Being out there, no. Prospect. Remember, searching for those little nuggets, those little diamonds hidden within. Right, you're searching for that specific piece. So you're talking to people, you're asking them questions, you're learning about them, you're building good relationships, right? You got that piece where you can also build strategic partnerships with people, which is why networking and events come into play. Because in that case, where you're building strategic partnerships with people, you have a service that you can provide. You have something of value, and then you also know and meet someone else out there who can also provide your clients with value. And so you get the chance to connect with them and build them up. You find a lot of that in networking events, or just networking and talking about other people in it. And then also attending different industry events and conferences as well helps out with networking and referrals. Then you've got like your online prospecting, where you're using social media platforms to be able to chat with people, and you can provide, I'm going to say this, come here, provide value on social media before just asking, can I provide you with this value? Can I provide you with this? Give free value on social media first. I don't know how much clearer I can say that. Too many times people, instead of providing free value, they don't provide value. They don't provide anything. That they think they provide credibility, but through value brings credibility. All right. So if you're not providing value or credibility, you're not going to get anywhere. So on social media, provide free value and then communicate with others. A lot of times people use, they optimize websites for different lead generations. So in case they have their own website, you might be able to go on and put in your information, so that way you can then get reached out to by someone or whatever the case is. And then also they have implemented there's a lot of targeted digital marketing campaigns that are out there to also look for and prospect certain individuals. I actually did a marketing campaign a few weeks ago, because I'm actually looking to expand on my team by about 4 people. And so I looked out for that and actually created a marketing campaign, so that way I could post it and get certain potential prospects who are looking for a business opportunity. And it yielded great results for me. So different types of online prospecting. And then you've got your cold outreach as well, where you're identifying ideal customer profiles, just a profile, not necessarily the person, not necessarily the relationship just yet. And then you show them your value proposition. You show them why you are special, why you have value that you can provide to them, something that gives you the competitive edge. And then a lot of that comes from cold leads, cold calling, cold emails, things like that. And so from there, that's people who don't know anything about what you're doing. They might know your service, your value, but they don't know, they're not looking for actively what it is that you have. All right. And that's where, like, sometimes your information, gets out there. So be very careful, because I know a lot of people don't like the cold leads or cold calling that some people give to them. I don't like it at all. I hate when somebody, hey, this is so-and-so from XYZ company. Are you familiar with? No, goodbye. Right. But it happens, and it is an effective strategy as well. So I want to be able to show you guys that, because I think it's also very important to know the types of effective prospecting strategies out there. Now, I want to talk about consistent prospecting, and then I have 3 different rules of fanatical prospecting that's going to help out a ton of business owners out there. So some of the benefits of consistent prospecting, obviously, it's just that, like, especially if you're doing it on social media, or you're doing it in your neighborhood, you're doing it in your area, you're doing it with certain people, a certain market. It's just that, like, you can increase your brand awareness, your business, your opportunity, your company, your product, your service, whatever it is that you do. If you sell Kirby vacuums, and you're consistently prospecting effectively, building great relationships. Maybe you also have your Kirby vacuum business online, or whatever the case is. Right? You start to build a strong market presence, because now people know you. They know where to go in case they need one of the best vacuums in the world. With that, with consistently doing it, it starts to build credibility and trust as well. Why? Because if you're out there speaking to people and you're building relationships and you're helping them out, then you consistently help out other people, and you're always talking to people, you get better at it as well. And you have this very specific value proposition that you are the guy that they should all go to. All right. And it also starts to foster a positive brand perception. So that way people perceive you as someone of value. They don't perceive you as a salesman, they perceive you as a businessman. All right. So enhancing your brand awareness is huge when it comes to prospecting. And that's a huge benefit of consistently doing it. You've also got good and customer insights, just because you always get to understand what's going on in the world right now. What are customers? What are clients? What are people having issues with? Let's just say that you are in the business, you're a CPA, you've got your firm, and you're out there trying to learn more about, you're out there trying to prospect. Or maybe you are emailing, maybe that's your method, cold emailing, or emailing connections on LinkedIn, or communicating whatever way. Consistent prospecting allows you to consistently ask about pain points that others might be having. Some of those client businesses that CPA firm is looking for might be sharing some of their issues, some of the pains, some of the implication that those issues are having on their business, on their profitability. And so that CPA learns more about these needs consistently if they're prospecting and asking those diagnostic questions. They start to gather much more valuable intelligence on the market that they're in. And then they start to change and adapt their products, their value accordingly. So that way they can ultimately be able to help out more of those different businesses that they're trying to help out. It goes with any industry. And then another huge benefit of consistent prospecting is just that is, like I said before, is great. It's great for long-term sustainability, but it's also great for sustaining your business growth, where you have a steady flow of new opportunities, whether you're looking for new opportunities for business to be able to put into yourself and invest into a business, or whether you're looking to give more people business opportunities. Whatever it is, you have the chance of having a consistent, steady flow of those opportunities coming in. And then also you start to mitigate the impact of customer like knockoff, where they kind of just walk away. They kind of ghost you. They don't say things like that. And that's just because you're consistently doing it. You're getting better. You're building relationships, and you're always even thinking about the guys that you're working with currently. And then again, it is for a great long-term success. It's because consistent prospecting makes you consistent. It is extremely important to be very consistent in your prospecting. Very consistent. All right, those are the benefits. Let's talk about 3 rules, though. And I also have this in a nice little picture for you guys. There's 3 rules of prospecting. And with this, this is from a book called Fanatical Prospecting. I'm not sure if I have it down here or my other room. Fanatical Prospecting, which is a method used to make sure that you understand how extremely important it is to prospect. And so what are these 3? So first, let's give some real life examples, because I know there's a lot of business owners out there that do watch my content. Let's give a real life example. Have you ever noticed that, like, after a while of not having anything in the pipeline, like all your entire pipeline is gone, your entire sales pipeline is gone, you don't have anybody else right now and that's in the queue to become a client, things like that. You're like, geez, it is so challenging for me to fill the pipeline. It's so challenging, so I need to go out, because if I don't, like, it's your livelihood, it's your job, right? If I do not get people in the pipeline and get sales going, I might not be able to pay my rent. I won't be able to take this trip that I've been planning on taking. I won't be able to do this and this and this. I'm going to tell you, because you're focusing on that right there, because you're focusing on that, it starts to govern desperation. And the law of need tells you that once you get to a point where you are becoming desperate for sales, prospects, recruits, whatever the case is, the more likely that you need something, the less likely that you are to get it. And if you're focusing on that, you're going to get that. Now I'm saying if you're focusing on getting, recruits and sales, but if you're focusing on the reason why you need to get it, because you're thinking, well, if I don't do this, this will happen. That right there, that's what you're focusing on. You wake up and you think about the struggle and stress of that, not being able to pay your rent, not being able to go on a trip, not being able to feed yourself, not being able to whatever. That's what you're focusing on. And so then your result in your mind is, well, I have to get this. I have to get a sale. I have to get a new client. I have to get a business partner. I have to build up a new relationship. I have to do that. That's all negative. That's desperation. You're focusing on this negative piece, and then now it's governing desperation to get whatever else. You're going to get that. You're going to get that negativity. You're going to get that not able to pay rent. You're going to get that keeping the pipeline empty. That's what's going to happen based on the law of need. How do you get away from how do you fix that? Well, you have to stop needing it and focus on the positive. I know it might suck because it's like, well, I do need to pay my rent. Yes, that's true. You do need to pay your rent, but also you're not going to if you consistently focus on, well, I need to get these things. Take a step back, consolidate, look at what you are not doing or what you are doing that you shouldn't be doing, and start doing the opposite. And if you consistently prospect, you're just talking to people. Just talk to them, chat with them, have relationships with people, whether it's online, in person, through text message or social media or whatever the case is. Just do that. Consistent prospecting make sure that you never have that emptiness. Never. And don't feel like you need any of those people. And when you feel like you don't need any of them, because not all of them, none of them might not even pay your bills for you, right? But if you don't need them, you tell yourself, well, let me help them. You're going to get that right there. It's not about you. It's not about you. You're not a salesman. Well, some of you guys might be. But be a businessman as well. First thing, how you have value that you can provide to someone. All right. Focus on that. Second, 30-day rule. If you're a business owner, have you ever noticed that you're just like, man, I've been trying to close on this person and help them, get started for the last few months. And it's like they meet with me and then they don't, and then they meet me and then they tell me, okay, I want to move forward, and they don't move forward, and things like that. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? You're thinking, well, okay, the last time we met, we talked about this. Well, it didn't close them on that. But you're consistently doing that. All right. There's an example in the book where a gentleman comes to the author of the book and he says, hey, my pipeline has been empty. I've been talking to so many people and I just cannot get them all across the finish line. He's like, and so I need some assistance with figuring out, which piece of my closing is weak. And, the author says, well, how long has it been since you've met them or since you prospected them? It's about 3 or 4 months. And so we've been going for 3 or 4 months and still nothing's actually finally officially closed all the way out with them. And the gentleman says, well, it's not a closing problem. It's a prospecting problem. And he's like, now, why is it not a closing problem? It's not a closing problem because the 30-day rule, they're likely already gone. If you didn't get them in the first 30 days, you're not going to get them. Now, the other piece is the prospecting activity that you do in this 30-day period will yield results over the next 90 days. And so if you've gone 3 or 4 months trying to work with these same people, they're already what you would call a dead lead or dead prospect. They're already there. And so you're not still doing work. You're not still doing activity to generate sales prospects or anything like that. You're not doing anything. If you work with the same exact people, you've got this 30 days of what you prospect, of who you talk to, will your results of the next 90 days. And if they don't move forward, you got to keep on going. Consistent prospecting will make sure that you consistently think about that 30-day rule. So if it's January and you do all of this massive prospecting in January, you end up noticing that you have a lot more business and a lot more sales in the pipeline February, March, and April. But if February, March, and April, you don't prospect, then what's going to happen? The ones who don't close in February, you're going to continue to try to work with in March. And the ones who don't close in March, you're going to continue trying to work with in April. And the ones who don't close in April, now you've got, if you prospected 100 people and you've got 20 of them that closed in February, 5 of them that closed in February, 2 that closed in March, you still got almost 70 people that you most likely are going to continue trying to reach out to. And that's not activity. That's just having stale prospects, dead leads, whatever the case is. And you notice that you didn't go and prospect in February to keep those prospects up, to keep the sales in the pipeline. You didn't prospect in March. Because again, you got to consistently do it every month, 30 days. What are you doing this 30 days will yield results over the next 90. So if you don't want May, June, and July to be bad months, you've got to prospect in April. All right. And then the third rule, the third law is the law of replacement. And I love this because this helps out with the other two. So speaking of that same example, if you prospected in January and then you've closed 20 clients in February and you've gotten a little bit more, you've gotten a few more in March and you got a few more in April, you notice that it's difficult for you to probably go out. You probably don't have the time to go out and continue prospecting and things like that. You probably feel like you don't have the time. But for every deal that you close, your pipeline is shriveling down to less and less and less. It's getting much closer to zero. All right. And so when you reach your closing ratio, you have to refill your pipeline. So what does that mean? Let's just say if you have, here we go. If for you, can I copy what I just drew. I wish I could copy what I just drew. Can I? Wait, no. I can. Three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right. So the law of replacement teaches you that as you close business, as you close on clients, whatever your closing ratio is, once you get to that point, you need to refill your pipeline. You need to go and prospect again. So let's say that your closing percentage is 30%. This means that for out of 10 people that you talk to, 3 of them become clients or whatever the case is. So 3 out of 10. So let's say that in the month of January, you got 30, right? 10, 10, and 10. You got 30 prospects total. Your closing percentage is 3 out of 10 or 30%. That means on average, if this is 30, about 9 of these should become a client, or you should close about 9 of them. So let's just say in January, you go ahead and close these 3, because by the law of your closing ratio, you close 3 people. If you close these 3 people, how many more prospects do you have? You've only got 20. You've only got 20 left, because now all of these are gone. They're all gone because you already closed the group that you got. So now, in order to keep your pipeline full for the next one, you need to go and get another 10 prospects. And now this keeps 30 prospects on your calendar at all times. Now, once again, let's say that you go ahead and close on another 3, and then another 3. Now you've got 9 total that you've closed total this month. Well, if you close on 6, if you notice and you're working and you're like, oh crap, I just got 6. I just closed on 6, people and help them out. I just closed on 6. For you, your immediate mindset needs to be, oh crap, that means I need to go and get 20 more prospects to fill my pipeline right back up. You need to take that time. It is extremely important. That is what the law of replacement is going to teach you. So as soon as you close the deal, go get more. If your ratio is 50%, that means if every 2 people you close 1, when you close 1 person, you immediately need to go and talk to 2 more people. Immediately. And that's how you consistently keep that pipeline full. All right. Oh man, today was good. And I hope that was very valuable for you. Right. And so as I said before, prospecting doesn't have to have a bad name. The reason why it does is just because most people don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to have to go and talk to people. They don't want to have to go and either make the phone calls if that's what their prospecting methods are. They don't want to have to reach out on social media if that's what their prospecting messages are. It feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels like I'd rather spend my time doing other things. But if you do that, then you have time to spend. You have money to spend as well, right? Build great relationships as well. It is important to consistently prospect and always be using different types of effective prospecting strategies that I gave you here. All right. And remember, like for me, I think it is extremely important and one of the best ways to grow your business and your sales pipeline. If you are a business owner, if you are, in any sort of business venture at all, prospecting is huge. It's very needed. So hopefully you learn some of these rules and you implement some of these rules, and they'll be able to help you out. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this, I hope that you give this video, this podcast episode, a like rating. Also, be very free to comment down some of the most effective prospecting strategies that you guys have used. And then also go ahead and subscribe. Share this with your friends and family. I'm excited because tomorrow's episode is all about leadership. Oh, it's going to be so good. The last leadership that we did was also a big hit with you guys. So tomorrow is also going to be about leadership principles and like the commandments of a leader, what they should be doing to make themselves much more effective. And if you're a business owner, you're not a business leader, you're failing. All right. So I'm excited about tomorrow. This is going to be great. You guys go and have and do great, wonderful things. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take good care.
Dude, there is no day off. There are no lights. Listen, I'm not a light switch. You can't turn me off. I can never get turned off. Every single day, I'm giving everything I have. That's how big my dream is. And so there's no excuse. There's no pain. There's no dilemma. There are no speed bumps. There's no distraction that can turn me off. I'm not a light switch. You can't turn me off. I want this thing every single day.
Wealthy people, first they get into stocks,